So, Jess, we're going to have a little bit of a chat about the product.
Yes.
And when I think about the product this year, between sort of January and April, we produced some fabulous demos,
Yeah.
some fabulous Fusion instances. I'm thinking about the Formula One one, I'm thinking about the Premier League one.
Hmm.
And then we go to Click Connect and we show it to the world. And it becomes really obvious to me really quickly that anybody that understands Click looks at those and goes, "Oh, love this, beautiful. Who did all that amazing work in Click?"
Yeah.
And it's a bit of an issue, because the point of Fusion is it accelerates time to value. You don't have to do a vast amount of work in Click to get a beautiful end result. So there's a quandary there, and we're thinking, how are we going to solve that? And for me, the turning point in the year was when we came up with a storyboard generator.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be really cool if you could talk about what that meant as kind of a catalyst, no pun intended, that set us off on a kind of a slightly different path. So, where did the idea come from for your storyboard generator?
For me, I think really it was an evening idea. It was just something that dawned on me, and it was how do we help our prospects and our customers to really visualize their world in the wrapper of Fusion. Um, and it was all good and well as obviously presenting demos, but I feel like the customers and the prospects didn't really understand what that meant for them because it wasn't their world, it wasn't their brand. So it was how can we automatically in a matter of seconds present to our customers, our prospects, our partners, their world in a Fusion portal.
Yeah.
Um, so the storyboard generator was born
So we're trying to show people what amazing looks like.
for them in their world. Yeah.
But the problem that created was the storyboards looked amazing,
Yes.
and actually, the way that they were received by our prospects and customers was just off the charts.
Yeah.
I mean, people saw them and they just loved them. But of course, you've got their problem as head of product
Yeah.
because the storyboards don't quite match the reality.
Yeah.
It's a bit like when you see those pictures where, this is what you can get if you spend £1 million. It's a beautiful picture of a horse, and then you get a kid's drawing at the end of it, right? So
Yeah.
so what was your strategy to go from, you know, that's the sizzle. How do we build the actual sausage?
Well, it's all about bridging the gap. So we have a very capable, a very very good development team sat behind Fusion. So what we did with the storyboard generator, as well as building excitement amongst customers, prospects, and partners, it also built a lot of excitement in our technical teams. So we used that as a real driving force and sort of used those storyboards as our strategy to say, this is what we want to achieve.
Yeah.
So we brought the technical team on the journey with us and we said, look, this is where we are today, this is where we want to be. How do we bridge this gap? And I think Fusion version 3 has fundamentally done that.
And didn't you tell me that Percy just turned up on a Monday one week and just said, that thing that you showed us, I've had a bit of an idea. I think we can
Yeah,
probably build it this way.
exactly that. Yeah, all of the team pretty much. So yeah, we shared the storyboards and we said, look, guys, this is our reality. This is where we want to be in the next 6, 9, 12 months. And I mean, 3 months later, we very much delivered that. But yeah, Percy in his spare time had a play and had a look at what the art of the possible was. And again, we used those storyboard generators, and that really drove the guys to say, we want to bridge that gap, and this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah. So it was a North Star, right? That's where
Absolutely.
we're going to go.
Yeah,
So much so, like the Percy idea, we loved him so much for that. We actually named a bit of the product after him.
we did. Yeah, again, another deliverable of Percy in his wonderful ways was our conversational chatbot. A lot of wonderful work went into it. Not just to deliver a solution out of the box, but to make sure that the experience was right for the customer. It was performant, but it delivered contextual answers that really helped the users. So yeah, in homage to Percy, we
Yeah.
named that as Percy.
And like Percy on the football field, it's also very fast.
Very fast indeed. Yeah, I think answers, really good answers, may I add, with a lot of context behind them, on average is less than 10 seconds now for an answer, which I think in this day and age is a
Yeah,
pretty
mega.
performant chatbot.
Mega. And so when we talk about Fusion 3.0, we've given it a new number because it is such a pivotal and
It is, yeah.
significant step change. We talked about the AI that's in there. If you're going to pick three other things that are kind of game changing components that are in 3.0, what would they be?
I think first and foremost to me, whilst we're on the subject of Percy, is the Fusion native charts. So we are aware of the limitations. Let's say Click is a very very powerful data engine, but visually, the time to value you spoke about before isn't perhaps there with some of the out of the box solutions. So what we did again from our storyboard generator was created our own catalog of Fusion native charts. So KPIs, enhanced KPIs, tables, bar charts that show really easily your rag statuses or your progress with your progress bars. So they're all available out of the box from the Fusion interface, powered by Click Data. I'd say that's really the first wonderful deliverable in 3.0.
Yeah, I mean, I love that aspect of it. But the thing that I really like about the Fusion chart catalog is the speed that you can build a chart connected to a click component.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not talking minutes,
no,
talking seconds.
yeah. Seconds, I think the way it's been designed is definitely with the user and the UX at the forefront.
Yeah,
So it's all drop downs with all click master measures, your dimensions. It's a really simple way to build a really, really powerful tool. I'd say something that would take hours, if not days, if you was to do it in Click itself.
yeah, yeah. And I've heard that from pre-sales guys at our partners as well. So that's number one.
Yeah.
What's number two?
Number two, I'd say, is Fusion Theme Engine.
Yeah,
So again, through our storyboard generator and conversations with partners, prospects, customers, branding is so important and having that coherent look and feel across the dashboards. So our theme engine is the ability in, I'd say, sub 60 seconds to style your entire dashboard. So every single page in there, your navigation in near real time. So what that does is it allows you to provide your primary, your secondary colours, what font do you want,
hmm,
light mode, dark mode, even down to adding shadows over your KPIs, charts and objects globally, which I know again is a huge drain on time if you to do it in Click. Um, it controls all of the Fusion charts, but it does also override the Click charts as well. So in 60 seconds, you're able to completely rebrand the look and feel of your dashboard.
yeah. And another thing about that is the if you wanted to add a new if you've got a new click object or you wanted to add a new click object, my understanding is that if you're going to do that in Click Cloud Analytics, you're going to have to kind of go back and think, what font did I use? What typeset is it? What font? All of those kinds of things, and it's actually quite a time-consuming
Yeah,
process.
yeah.
Whereas if you're doing it in Fusion, you can create the data's there in Click. You can pull that, connect to it, and then you're just adopting that Fusion theme, right?
Absolutely, yeah. You can have, and we've seen this in some of the wonderful demos we've built, but varying different fonts, varying different colours, and the styling and the design is all now done in the Fusion interface.
Yeah,
And where it'd take days previously for a Click consultant, let's say, um, and it's accessible to absolutely anyone, regardless of your ability in Click, to style something in, like I say, a matter of 60 seconds.
awesome. And so that's the Fusion theme engine. What was your third?
Third, I would say proactive alerts and
Yeah,
notifications. So we're all busy. We're all busy people. So what the alerts and notifications allow you to do is to set a threshold on your KPIs, let's say, and say I want to be notified via email if my sales KPI drops below a certain figure. What that'll do is it'll trigger an email and it'll drive people directly back
mm,
into Fusion, so you're not relying upon having to log in to check the status. If something becomes critical or something you need to be aware of, you're told in real time, and at which point you can jump back into Fusion and you can see what's going on.
yeah. I guess the behavioral side of that as well is, businesses have made a bigger investment in BI, analytics, and the concern is, adoption is not there. Whereas if you're being constantly reminded on a daily basis that there's something really vital that you'd get value from looking at, it's going to drive that behavior and drive adoption, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean that is what the alerts and notifications are set to do. It's not it's that proactive approach. It's you don't have to be reminded. if there's something worth looking at, here is your reminder to do so. And again, it's driving people back into what's going on in the background.
Mm. So those are your three
Yes.
top items.
Yeah.
If you before we finish, if you were going to talk about kind of what might happen next for any of those three elements, what would the kind of thing that leapt to mind be?
I think on the subject of alerts and notifications, it's worth calling out that what we plan to do next is to expand that. So a lot of these people who are data driven may be on the road often, and obviously a lot of people are now remote working or hybrid working. It's expanding that wider than just email. So I think for me, one of the big things that are coming very soon is expanding that out to WhatsApp, to Teams, to
Yeah,
Slack. So I think
into
that
workflows basically.
yeah, so
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
purpose is to really embed Fusion in the day-to-day workflows of pretty much all of the users. So that would be my biggest call out.
Great. Anything else before we finish on product?
No, I think
Cool.
that summarizes everything. Yeah.
Well, it's always a joy to talk
Yes,
about
thank
the product
you.
with you. I can see the passion and the results are there for everybody to see.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Jess.